Welcome back to the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
I'm Tommy.
Welcome back to all your Regs, all you Shinies. This is the podcast. Please, before we begin, make sure you hit that like, you leave a comment, and you subscribe, and you follow us on all of our social media. That'd be Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that Discord up. We have tons of cool people on the Discord at most hours of the day. If you want to talk to some absolutely awesome people, make sure that you join that Discord. Also, if you haven't already, you want to go above and beyond and supporting the podcast, we have 2 ways now. 3 ways now. 1, you can hit that join button. You can join the podcast, get a little sticker, join level 1313. 99 cents a month, not too bad. And we got the Patreon, and every month for Gungan Bosses in the Patreon, we do a nice little giveaway. This month we're giving away, I don't know yet. Also, you can support us just by watching the videos because we are now monetized. Woo! Yeah!
We made it!
Thank you guys so much for getting us to this wonderful milestone. Tommy, you good?
And now that all prospective viewers have clicked off of this video for listening to Jacob's free metal concert for the last 2.5 minutes.
I'll be here all night. It's only been a minute and 28, 29. 3rd minute and a half. We hit it. We did it.
Dang. But yeah, thank you everybody so much who helped us get to this point. We're really excited that we finally hit like full channel monetization for our videos. We were in a pre-phase of that for a while where we could do the super chats during live streams and then super comments.
Super thanks.
Super thanks is what it was. But yeah, so I mean, we're excited that we finally hit this. This was something that we really wanted to hit, maybe as a goal for this year, and we didn't expect to hit it so soon.
It's always been a dream of mine to just have somebody tune into my show and then get hit with 20 ads throughout the duration of it. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoy. The election is coming up. You're going to get so many political ads on our videos.
Comment down below what ads you get, because when I watched it on my account, I got, when I watched your Steel City vlog, I got an ad for Outlaws. So I thought it was kind of cool. We got a Star Wars ad on our Star Wars video, so maybe we'll get Star
I have
Wars
YouTube Premium,
ads.
so I don't know.
Or you can use ad blocker like any reasonable human being would.
Yeah, but I can start Chuckle Sandwich or our podcast on here and watch it, and then as I'm watching, go and then throw it in my pocket for every video podcast and continue to listen to it, which is kind of a W.
Whatever.
W in the chat.
I was going to say, in terms of channel news and things that we did this week, I was going to say Jacob and I were at Pittsburgh this last Saturday for Steel City Con, and I have it with me right now. My dad ended up getting our sign for the Phoenix Squadron logo, a sign by Natasha. We also have Tia's signature on here too from when we saw her from ICCC. So super, super stoked about that. Steel City was honestly a blast. We got to see the one and only Phantom Menace Dennis.
Yeah, shout out Dennis for showing up.
Thank you, Dennis, for coming and hanging out with us. That
also,
was really, really cool.
Shout out Natasha. She signed our figure to 1313.
Yes.
And I gave her a card, and I know damn well she threw it away when she got to the hotel.
She was really nice, though. Really appreciated her, and everybody else that we got to see, too.
I was so tired that morning. I was going to ask her, like, what was your favorite aspects about being on production of the Ahsoka show? And I was so tired from driving and being Jackson's personal bodyguard. I was just like, hi. So I completely forgot to ask my question.
But yeah, if you want to know more about Steel City, check out Jacob's vlog for the Steel City Con. And then on Sunday, I went to the Cleveland Fan Expo with my dad and Hybrid Toy Reviews, and we shot another vlog there because we got to meet Amon Esfandi and then watch their panel. And the dude was
also
a
met
goat.
Morgan Elsbeth.
Yes,
I wasn't there.
Also met Morgan Elsbeth too. But Amon was a goat. He was super, super nice. We probably talked to him for like 10-ish minutes almost. We weren't able to record that aspect of it. But again, dude was just so nice, so genuine. He just loves Star Wars, and he's really excited to be able to bring Ezra to life and give the character justice in live action. It will already be up by the time this video is up, but I also do have a vlog where myself and Hybrid got to ask him on a question during their panel, which I was super stoked about because I didn't know that was going to happen.
I didn't know that you got to ask him a question. I knew Hybrid did.
Well, yeah, because they were like, oh, like, if you guys want to do questions at this time, like, line up. And I was expecting, like, a ton of people to either want to ask a question or, like, be at the panel. And surprisingly, there was, like, 30 people at the panel.
Did you make sure to ask a really stupid, pointless question? Like, what was the one at ICC they asked?
Dude, there was some
the
really
Rebels
bad
people.
ones asked. No,
what's
people
your
asking really
headcanon
bad.
trait that they do?
Yeah, that was
Maybe-
no, and they had some really unfortunate questions as well, just because Amon stated that he is very, very new to Star Wars. He watched almost the entirety of Rebels, and then he had to kind of he read most of the story to kind of catch up and understand the character, but he's still new to the franchise and new to things happening. So some guy got up there and asked him and Morgan what their lightsaber style of
What
fighting
form would you use?
What form would you use for lightsaber? And he was like, I don't know that. And the guy was like, well, there's this type and this. And the guy was like,
No
would you go
way,
aggressive or would you?
neckbearded him.
Yeah.
yeah. And he was like, well, what? It was like, dude, come on, man. It was just too much because.
So to that wonderful gentleman out there, congratulations. You made yourself look like a prick.
Yeah, no, I would agree on that. But
I wasn't even there.
Other people had really good questions too. I tried to ask something. I'll tell you because by now the
make a
vlog
wish.
is out. Ooh, oh my
Why
gosh.
didn't you warn us?
No, but my question was really just about why of all the materials in Hu Yang's workshop did you go back to Kanan's lightsaber and not make your own saber again or make something completely different?
Oh.
And Amon had a really good response of just it's
That's what Dave told me to do.
it's paying but it's more so supposed to be paying homage to Kanan, because without Kanan, Ezra would have never become a Jedi or understood anything about the galaxy himself. Well, exactly. And so it's supposed to be the tribute to the one who gave him his life and his destiny. And I thought that was a really cool answer. So yeah, if you want to see the whole vlog itself, check out the video on our channel again. But yeah, the cons were amazing. Oh, I forgot to mention too. I'm sorry, guys. We're in the Jackson Yap session instead of the Jacob, and I get to talk once on the podcast. That was a joke.
This
that was a
isn't
joke. That was a
allowed.
joke. But
That's
I
not
got
allowed.
approved to the 501st. So I was waiting over the weekend. I dressed up in my Fives armor, was taking pictures with people, and
Shaking hands, kissing babies.
as Jacob wanted to say. But Monday evening, I got an email from the garrison confirming my status. So I'm in! So I'm super excited. If you would like to see Tommy and I troop and you're in our local area, the Pirates are having a Star Wars night on May the 4th.
The Pittsburgh Pirates, the MLB team.
Yes, the MLB team. So not some people in the sea in an African country that are trying to raid your boat.
Somali pirates.
Yes, not the Somali ones.
Somali pirates.
The Pittsburgh ones.
In new news.
Let's get raw.
I have almost none for me other than I got my motorcycle license finally, so I'm happy about that. And two, so as you guys know, I'm going down to Disney in Florida
The
for
1313 podcast dissolves. That was a joke.
That is the other news, actually, is that once everyone moves away, there will be no more 1313 podcast. Thanks for giving us all your money.
That's cap. We're
That's
still
capular.
gonna do it.
So here's what I'm thinking though, because I'm driving down. I'm not gonna fly down because I want to have my car with me. If any of you absolute regs or shinies along the East Coast have nothing better to do and want me to stop and say hi, I'll stop and say hi for an hour.
Go see Blue Snaggletooth.
Oh yeah, you could see Blue Snaggletooth in North Carolina.
Yeah.
He's literally
Sucking
Batman
Carbonite,
as well.
AKA Blue Snaggletooth.
Yeah, it's Batman.
Dang.
Yeah, well, no, if you straight, I'm dead ass. If you want to meet me and go fig hunting for an hour or so, and just if you guys can't make it to ErieCon or ICC and you just want to say hi, because I'm going down that way and it's gonna be 16 hours of just nothing and driving. So I will definitely welcome a stop just for human interaction. So if you got 1313 Jacob on Instagram or DM me on Discord.
Don't DM him on Discord.
Don't DM him on Discord. He doesn't,
doesn't
look at the Discord.
Well, I look
Jacob
at
doesn't look at the Discord.
a direct message I will see. Just not a 1 billionth notification from the 1313 chat. So
This just in, Jacob hates you if you're in the Discord.
You text him in the Discord, Jacob hates you.
Did you see what Justin was trying to get your attention for?
Did you see Justin's question?
the cards?
Nope.
No, I did not see it.
He said he wants to have you on Lazy Sunday live stream.
Yeah.
Oh. Let me text
He was
him.
like,
That
oh,
was
it
Discord.
would be awesome to have Jacob because we've had Jackson and Tommy, and then Tommy and I were like, we could also be on it again if you let us know. The finger tap.
I'm a fiend.
I am a fiend, bro. Telegram. Tommy, do you have any additional Star Wars news?
No, I have a bunch of reviews I need to put together still.
Yeah, that's still fine. Reviews are popping off.
The daily uploads have been really helping us a lot on the channel lately. So I've been trying to do a lot of work to keep that going, but also been working a lot of overtime recently. So
That's fair. I mean, hey, you make it a bag, you make it a bag. It looks like right now I am still applying for a job and it is in the process in Hawaii. So if I'm able to get that, I should be able to get enough money to get a ticket to go to ICCC still.
Yeah.
So right now I'm trying to make it, everybody. I'm just hoping this works out.
we're also maybe considering doing like a hype house type thing for
The
ICC.
1313 hype.
Dude, that would be so lit.
The hive of scum and villainy.
Literally. That would be funny.
The
Yeah.
Creators Guild.
The Shark Tank.
When that was a thing.
Dude, it still is. We just did an episode on Sunday.
Oh, I'm never there. I'm
Coward.
maybe when I'm in Disney, my Sundays will get free.
We had mad people on Sunday's episode too. I think it was me, Fig, Hunter, Hendrix, and Casual Clone.
Also, quick shout out to Jackson and Tommy, because I don't know if the viewers have been able to tell. You probably have been able to tell, but the thumbnails have changed. The editing is all being done by Tommy. All the reviews are Tommy. All the shorts are Jackson, because I'm working my ass off between school, jobs, and films. So I just want to let everybody out there in the audience know that these two idiots are putting in the work and they're getting the channel to grow. So
Thank you.
blow them in the comments. Send them virtual handies, just because they're doing such a good job. Hopefully, when I'm down in Florida, especially for the first couple weeks of the new setup, I'm definitely gonna edit those, just because I already know how to do it. And then once I like streamline it, I can definitely teach you two how to do it.
Yeah. I definitely want to get a new computer now for editing because my Surface is kind of frustrating me.
Does not cut it.
Well, my iKey fell off my laptop, so it's probably time for me to get a new computer as well.
My computer's because you saw the episode that I did with the multicam and the 4K and that stuff. I did that all on my new laptop and it killed it. So it's definitely we had the ability to do it. So
Sure.
but
Sweet.
So why not
schmexy.
bring our podcast to the next level, even though we might all be here in person?
Well, it's like the biggest thing that would hold back that type of editing is just the quality of the cameras that we're using.
I mean, we can easily get decent quality cameras, though.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be hard.
It's not hard. We already have one webcam up there.
Yeah.
So.
Remember when we tried using that webcam for one of the first episodes of the podcast and we realized that it wasn't actually something we could do?
Yes, I returned it on Amazon.
Unfortunate, but that was funny though.
We also tried to use my SLR and also quickly realized that wasn't
The
something
first
we could do.
1313 episode where it's 15 minutes of footage followed by an hour of black.
Well, it's so
I was born in the darkness.
so I'm pretty sure I should be able to, because I'm going to take that SLR with me down to Florida. I'm pretty sure I can hook that up to my computer via HDMI and use that as my video input. So I can.
Cool.
That would kind of be cool.
So
Maybe it might be worth it at that point to invest in the higher subscription for StreamYard, since we'll be using it so much more frequently. Then we can get
That's
higher
not a bad
resolution
idea.
for everybody's face cams.
well, that's so for the video. For like our regular podcast, it wouldn't be on StreamYard. That's how we would get the quality. I was edit it differently because StreamYard, because everyone uses StreamYard.
Yeah.
It seems like everyone uses it now, which is insane.
Because I want to stand out from the pack. Because granted,
Well, our setup now definitely makes us stand out from the pack.
and granted, every time we do something new in this community, everybody else goes, "Whoa!" and does the exact same
We
thing.
are the pioneers.
I got this new idea, and I don't know where I got it from. Totally not 1313 podcast.
Hybrid
We
Forbes
see you.
logo.
We see you all.
I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure that I don't shout out 1313 podcast, and then everyone can tell me how great I am.
That's okay.
It was we're driving down to Steel City, and Jackson goes, "Ooh, Jacob, give me your phone so I can get some B-roll of the road." I was like, "Jackson, since I did that once, everybody does it now. I'm not throwing the road in." Everybody, like,
Granted, anybody
we love
does
you
that.
guys. We love you guys so much. All of our videos kind of look the same now, though. So
We're trying to make it different. Trying to make
Hey, bro, imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
that is true, actually.
so
But
well,
I guess
love
getting
you.
into maybe now some Star Wars news. Tommy was
Fuck
reading
no.
up on an article from Forbes.
read?
I do read
I didn't think you could do
occasionally.
that.
So we had we're clicking the sound, but Tommy's
Did
reading
those come
on.
up in the last?
They did. They came up in the last.
Yeah, they did
also,
come up in the
I'm going to
last.
start putting up a Jackson interruption counter.
Bro, I swear, I'm talking and then you guys go, actually, I'm just gonna say
Did the
this really
sound effects
quick.
go over? Like, what?
They
Does
do.
Yes,
it
they go-
completely cover it?
No, you can still hear it.
You can
Okay.
hear
Oh,
it.
that's kind of a
So
shame.
no, but
It balances it pretty well, actually.
I have to say this at least. Thank you, Jacob, for using the cricket sound effect on this. Just please let me tell this one little bit of story and then we can go. The first fan interaction I had at Cleveland Expo, I literally get off the escalator with my dad. Some guy walks up to me and goes, I'm sorry to bother you right now, but do you mind if I get a photo? And I was like, there's no way this is actually happening.
Oh,
Like,
what
legit,
did someone call
the
him?
hand motions, like the
Somebody called him Captain America.
someone called me
in Pittsburgh.
Captain America. I was called a stormtrooper. I was like
Captain Rex a billion
this
times.
family was dressed up like in all like Star Wars stuff. They're like, oh my gosh, your costume's really good. It's like a clone trooper take on like an R2D2. And I was like, there's no way you said that to me dressed in Star Wars stuff. Granted, and a lot of people also did call me Captain Rex. That like people working at Cleveland Fan Expo called me Captain Rex.
Well, they see Clone Trooper with two guns.
Well, with the pauldron too. But I will
Rex
give
only has
people
one side.
I will give people a pass sometimes because their Clone Wars is the most amount of Star Wars. So if a person doesn't know who Fives is, I get it. He's in a couple arcs.
He's so integral to the story, though.
He is. No, this was the crazy part too. I had like this younger like girl like walk up to me and like take a photo with me at Steel City, and she was like going on and on about like the Clone Wars and like Fives was one of her most favorite characters, and I was like, holy cow, like these kids are like educated on the Clone Wars.
And then Chris
Granted-
Hansen came from out behind the
Dude, not what I was getting at. No, but my
This
point.
man's here to meet a 12-year-old.
Stop!
Next time we get a little con, I'm just gonna start following you with on my phone. This man is here to meet a 12.
You're a jerk.
Have you
Jacob,
seen-
know that.
I think Jackson might ask you what he's shooting with after that.
Have you seen people who do like it's like the opposite of a speed run. Like they'll start in the back of a Best Buy and see how long they can take their friend following them with the camera. Going, this man is here to meet a little.
That's terrible. That I would never do that to a
No,
friend.
I
Not
would
in a
never
public
do
place
that.
like that.
Absolutely not.
There's
Okay.
certain jokes that I think are really funny, but
Yeah.
that's one I think that's stepping over the line.
Okay.
Now, okay.
Now I know exactly what to do.
Forbes. So I read a little article. It's going to be coming up all over your feed, I'm sure, in the next few days, next week or so.
Because Disney ruined Star Wars.
Forbes is obviously like an economic magazine, and they released an article titled Disney Star Wars box office profits fail to cover cost of buying Lucasfilm. And then literally towards the end of the article, they say something along the lines of, I'm going to try and find it. They go, so is our title actually true? Not really. They just clickbait the title, and now
Yes,
of course
I know. Everyone's gonna read the title because that's
Yes.
all they do.
Well,
for
we already
years.
saw a video with the title being like saying something like Disney's losing money on Star Wars or something.
Which is cap, because then how is Ahsoka the number 2 performing show of every other show last year on IMDb?
Yeah.
If it's, tell me it's losing money. That's what I hate too about like Star Wars news. I'm going to put in quotations. Star Wars news is literally just what clickbait title can I say about
Here we go.
Disney that is literally untrue. Read it, Tom.
The author literally says, and by the way, if you just search up Forbes Star Wars article on Google, this is one of the top searches right now. That's all I searched to find this.
Yep.
And it says, of course, the calculation above doesn't include the huge profits Disney makes on the Star Wars merchandise, DVDs, and Blu-rays. However, it also doesn't include the massive marketing costs of the movies, as well as the costs of the Star Wars streaming shows and theme park attractions, which also don't have revenue streams directly connected to them, as visitors get access to all of the rides for the price of a single ticket.
So you literally just said, I'm analyzing the smallest section of Star
So
Wars
looking at-
profit.
They're
looking
literally
at-
just looking at the box office numbers. So probably what they did is they just said, okay, this is the amount that Disney bought Lucasfilm for, and then they went to, you can go, it's boxofficemojo.com. It is a catalog of every single film, how much it costs for them to make, how much they made in the box office, and then how much money they made internationally versus in the US.
Yeah.
So probably all they did is they looked at that website, then they looked at the total, and they just added everything up. And went, yeah, they didn't hit the number yet.
So actually, it says Returns of the Jedi. Do you get it? Do you get it? Returns. There's a chart in the article that says how Disney made a $1.2 billion profit from the Star Wars movies. Do you realize how crazy how much money that is between 5 movies, one of which lost money as well? They lost money on Solo.
That doesn't make any sense.
So including that, the fact they made over $1 billion just on the movies alone, and you're going to try and tell me that in the year 2024, over a decade after Disney acquired Star Wars, that I hate that it's the narrative that's going to be created from this.
Yes.
Because you're looking at only the movies, and to think that only the movies, I'm not even going to get into it. The author knew what they were saying. The author knew what they were doing.
They were going to make a clickbait
It's
title.
a clickbaity title. The article is going to get tons of clicks. You're going to have all the neckbeards and all the people who love to hate from the outside.
They said Star Wars did bad. I'll have people probably talk to me about this at school.
Yeah, so anyway, if you look at it...
Teddy, in case you're watching this, just know it's fake news.
Disney on The Force Awakens, Disney made $559 million in profit off of that movie.
Yeah, it's still one of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Rogue One made a profit of $281 million.
That's insane.
Last Jedi made $346 million. According to this, it says, if I'm reading it right, Disney lost $90 million on Solo. That has so many factors to do with it.
Yes.
I want to talk about that briefly, and then Rise of Skywalker made $89 million. If I'm reading this right by Disney, it says Disney's net profit or loss.
Yeah,
it's a green column I'm going off of. And again, you can look at this yourself. I might even throw this picture up on the screen of this chart here. We'll see.
If he feels like it.
When it comes to Solo, there are several factors here. One, was it Infinity War that came out like right around the time? So okay, so you have the most anticipated Marvel movie ever coming out within weeks of Solo. You also have all of the backlash from The Last Jedi. The people that didn't like that movie, people were boycotting the Star Wars franchise. That was a thing that was happening at the time. And then on top of that, there are other factors too. There were so many production issues and switching of hands with directors and blah, 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 with writing and the movie and the production. There's so much to attribute to Solo underperforming in the box office that, because I think it's a decent Star Wars movie. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the worst. It's okay. It's in the middle. It's a fun little shoot 'em up Star Wars movie, and I wish it would get a sequel of some sort. To kind of tie in some of these characters.
Well, we're going to see a little bit of it in Outlaws.
In Outlaws with
Lando.
Kira.
When the Lando show / movie finally comes out.
Please, I'm praying on that to come.
So, I don't know.
Work it.
I know that, Jackson, you kind of shared your thoughts on it about, how people are going to blow this out of proportion in a negative light.
We were just looking on YouTube really quick, and we saw that there was going to be there were several videos and live streams that were already coming out talking about Star Wars underperforming. So this is going to be a huge headline. I mean, I bet by the time this video comes up, people will have heard about this if you're in the know.
Mm-hmm. Jacob, what are your thoughts on all this?
I mean, so do we know how much Disney purchased Lucasfilm for?
$4.5 billion.
So
or 4.4, something like that.
So in a decade, they've made a quarter of it back, and that's just with movies. That doesn't even count Disney Plus.
Oh, it was just $4 billion. $4 billion flat.
Yeah, so they had over a quarter of it back within 10 years, and that's just with movies. That doesn't count merchandise. That doesn't count.
Star Wars is known for merchandise.
And the article says this explicitly as well.
Yeah, and that doesn't count the Disney parks, which also is a large revenue stream. You have to think about more than just the Disney parks. You have to think about things like Star Wars events that happen at the Disney parks.
Think about all the Mandalorian and Grogu merch that they milked, too.
That's what yes, exactly.
So,
exactly.
I definitely, but then again, you also have to think that George Lucas retained some of the revenue from merchandise.
He still gets a cut.
So if I were to guess, they're halfway or just over halfway recouped.
George Lucas is actually the richest celebrity in the world right now. He has the biggest net worth. I think it's like $5.5 billion as his net worth because he keeps getting money from Disney for all the merchandise.
And he was smart to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think Disney is definitely halfway or over halfway recouped if we're going off just estimates from subscriptions from The Mandalorian and revenue in the Disney parks.
Yeah.
Just because it's so much money.
I think
from those.
Definitely take it with a grain of salt. I feel like our core audience is already super smart. You know, they're smart enough to know that all the fake news that's going to come out of this, and all the middle-aged white dudes that are going to sit down in their little chair with their little gaming setup and make 18 TikToks about how Star Wars is dead for the 19 millionth time. This has nothing to do with any of that. Forbes is presenting information. They're a business as well, so they presented it in a way that right now clickbait is the best form of business. Like
That's
it or
all the
hate
internet
it,
is.
like it or hate it, that's the internet.
Why do
So-
you think we make outrageous TikToks too with like really crazy opinions or like bits as well? Because it gets a click. Any publicity is good publicity.
Yep.
If you're Marilyn Manson and you want publicity, you put a picture of yourself naked on a car and you drive it around Britain because he did that.
Yeah, and that's, you know,
So
it's just
deep.
it's for I've become a lot less frustrated with the whole fake news and all that stuff with Star Wars recently, but it's just so frustrating because then we have people that come into our community and they're just word vomiting everything that they heard from Dr. Doofenshmirtz on TikTok and you know like Emperor Revan and you know 69 and you know Darth 420 Blaze It, you know, and they're all like, oh, and this, you guys are idiots, and you're wrong, and this creator said that Star Wars is dead. Kathleen Kennedy's gonna play judo against John Favreau.
I really don't understand how people are like, I'm a Star Wars fan, but then hate it so much. It just does not compute. I'm like, are you? Do you just have childhood memories of 6 films, and then you boycott everything else?
Maybe if Disney wouldn't have just ruined everyone's childhood.
Ruined it.
You know,
Sorry that we didn't sell it to China.
this thing that I don't contribute to at all in, rather than just consuming the media, I feel I have a personal responsibility to defend and protect.
Sure.
Come on.
This is 100% the Sonic movie effect. Think about it. The trailer dropped for the Sonic movie. The internet said, we stand together, we hate it. And then the production company said, yeah, okay, we'll delay this movie and make Sonic
We'll
look
fix
like...
the hedgehog.
We'll make Sonic how you want Sonic to look. And now the masses now have this idea that they have a say in what's happening with movies and media.
Sure.
So they all scream their nasty opinions online, and they think if they yell and they shout loud enough from the tallest tree that things will get changed in their favor. But when the wheels are turning, the cog is spinning, and Filoni's at the wheel, he's going 150 miles per hour and leaving you in the dust. He's got a story from here to the end of the universe. So
I will say that's another thing that I've been seeing a lot of like Dave Filoni slander recently with other creators and podcasts and things like that. People
Actually, like,
saying
Dave don't know how to cook.
he's a bad writer, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay,
He's outdated.
regardless of any of that, he was taught by George Lucas
Same with Kathleen Kennedy.
about Star Wars lore. Dave Filoni specifically was with the lore and got to work on 6 seasons of the Clone Wars.
which you praise and blow and act like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
it's
Some episodes are trash.
I mean, it's every show. It's just
Shout out to the guy at Steel City Con that was talking smack on Bad Batch. He's like, I can't wait for that Australian to die.
Dude,
Omega.
I know.
And I was just standing there. I was like, I like Omega. I was like, what are you on, dude?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, oh,
I
can't
pray on
wait for
every Bad Batch
that dumb
hater's
Australian
downfall.
to die. I really hate her voice. Tick, Hunter. I was just standing there like,
Sorry, you're a middle-aged man with no game, dude.
No
and you
play.
just have to hate on
Zero
anything
play.
Star Wars.
but speaking on the Bad Batch,
speaking on the Bad
Speaking
Batch.
on the Bad Batch.
Speaking on the Bad Batch.
Speaking on the Bad Batch.
I was wearing my Bad Batch hat today.
And I got my Bad Batch shirt
and I
on.
accidentally left it
Bad
at
Batch
school.
edging me one more week, man. Every single week they're
We
I
have
just
two more
wanna see.
episodes.
I can't believe there's only 2 episodes left.
Do you think it's going to be akin to how the season finale of season 1 was, where it's like literally just 2 episodes that are only focused on that one location?
Sure.
I don't know.
For season
mean,
1 it was
I'll kind of-
Camino.
That's how season 2 was too.
Oh, you're right. That would kind of be cool. I feel like, okay, that would make sense if the end played similar homage to season 1 and 2.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
rhymes.
They destroy the clones' home. The clones destroy Tantus.
I really hope that I know it's not a thing. I just wish this final episode was like over 30 minutes.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
But it's
Yeah.
like
Great.
We know it isn't, unfortunately.
I know we know it's not. It's like it feels like there's so much that has to get because at this point it feels like all the everybody's gonna rally to Wayland and go, we're gonna do it, and it just feels like they're all gonna just get slaughtered.
I
don't
really
see a happy ending, and it's like if there is a happy ending, I don't see how it fits. I'm like,
I really think that we all hyped up Clone Rebellion way too much.
Yes, I feel like we did.
I think that that's going to be.
Yes.
I think that we even did it ourselves by creating an unrealistic expectation and not just letting the story tell itself.
I feel like that's what I was saying next week is what if the Clone Rebellion doesn't happen?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest, I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Because, isn't
Well,
Rex in the trailer for the Tantus
I could have
section?
sworn I saw Rex, but maybe I'm wrong. It could have.
it's no, Rex is definitely like Rex has a close up.
I was going to say
The
Rex
TV
has a
spot,
close-up.
yeah.
But then
So-
what if only Rex comes and that's it? You know, like what other clones are there besides the commandos that are already
Hauser.
super brainwashed on Tantus?
Hauser.
Yeah, Hauser isn't on Tantus.
Yet. Rex isn't on Tantus.
Sure, but
I think there's.
I think in this next episode they're gonna get there, and then they're gonna send out a distress beacon to everybody,
I think
and
obviously
that's how
yeah.
Rex is gonna get there at least.
Yeah, Echo is going to probably be the one to do that since he has such close ties to Rex right now.
Sure.
And Rex is actively trying to find Tantus anyway, so maybe he shows up with whoever he's got.
yeah.
And
But it's going to be, if I had to give a prediction, I feel like the ending is going to be all about Omega. It's not going to be about Clone Rebellion or maybe even the destruction of Tantus. It's just get Omega and then objective is survive.
I think the ending is gonna be more about Project Necromancer, and
You think so?
And-
okay.
Gonna get a lot of that, yeah. For
I feel like
sure.
we're at least gonna see because we had the throwaway line of the other operatives aren't ready to join you, Mr. CX. So I doubt that line is just gonna be a throwaway, and the schematics are gonna be a throwaway to not appear at least in A, the season finale, or B, in another project. So I doubt that is a total throwaway. I think those might be force sensitive clone like betas, just like
you said, a form of Task Force 99.
So
Anti-Wrecker, anti-Hunter.
That would be awesome.
CX2 would be anti-Crosshair.
I feel like
It's true.
I feel like that might happen, but at this point, because there's so little time and so much that could happen, I want to reserve myself to not thinking about anything
Yeah.
because I don't want to ruin it.
As far as this episode goes, I think just to talk a little smaller. I
Sure.
think, we're talking like such broad Star Wars lore right now. I really like how sassy Rampart is.
Rampart's kind of funny.
He's so sassy.
He's like, oh, I like being an officer
Great,
again,
we're
and I
gonna
get
die.
to boss people around.
I hate clones.
I can hear you.
He's just, I don't remember him being this sassy in the other two seasons.
Yeah, because he was pompous and in power, and now he's just a rat.
Yeah.
I like the skimmed Bad Batch armor.
Yeah,
Yes,
dude.
the black Bad Batch armor, perfect.
I thought it
Remake
wouldn't
I'll
show
buy
up
it.
till next episode, but it looks sick.
Yes.
About to dunk
Looks
you in
sick.
some paint.
Echo just strips it all of all the paint. Looks dope.
That looks really good. I can't wait for Hasbro to make those.
They're not going to make those. I don't think there's any more Bad Batch figures coming out anytime soon.
Commando cool.
Well, we can just get because there's that new spot at Walmart with the end display with the Bad Batch figures in it. Just get those and paint them because that's just like a dark gray coat and then like
literally,
really
yeah.
light.
The only
leather.
Bad Batch figure that I could see them making is Captain Hauser because they've released him twice in TVC.
I want
I'm just praying on it. If
I want a new Omega with her longer hair.
That'd be
yeah,
fun,
the
too.
new because I think the season 2 Omega is infinitely better than the season
Oh,
1.
all day.
And I haven't gotten it yet, and I should for sure at some point. But yeah, infinitely better.
It's also nice again to see the Bad Batch just be good at being operatives.
Yes.
These last few episodes and this whole season, really, I know I mentioned it last week, have just been really good at reinforcing my thoughts that the Bad Batch are actually a formidable, team as opposed to always getting their asses kicked and always narrowly escaping. It's like, okay, they can actually handle the Empire pretty well.
Yeah.
They got in and out with little to no difficulty.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we were talking in the Discord too, but the episode this week made me feel stressed because, okay, yes, we had Echo finally back in the Bad
I know,
Batch.
like
Yeah,
this
right
morning-
after Jacob.
This
After
morning,
Jacob
last
said he
week.
would never be in the show again.
This morning, I was like to my dad, I was like, well, I can't wait for another Echo-less episode. And then he showed up. I was like,
Right in the beginning.
I was genuinely stressed because we
celebrate.
haven't seen Echo in forever. I was like, okay, what if he shows up and then he like dies or something happens to him? Like I felt stressed the entire time, I guess knowing the weight of the situation of finding Tantus and how much this means to them after a whole thing of buildup, which isn't filler. But
You've been demoted.
and knowing that the base is above Coruscant and how big of a deal that is too. And then their last minute, like they just dock on the ship as soon as they enter into hyperspace.
Want to know why you were stressed?
Why?
Because the editing. So fast-paced editing and cutting really quickly is a really good way to build stress in a viewer, and they did it. I call it the Silence of the Lamb effect because I noticed it a lot in Silence of the Lamb. But it's
movie.
like they're cutting between Echo doing the thing and the ship and the nav and Hunter's face and this and that, and they're just cutting. It's the same thing that they were doing with Omega when she was like trying to get in the wall, when they're cutting to the doctor walking back to her and the doctor walking back to her, back to bit.
Who's this other doctor? All my homies hate this new doctor.
All my homies hate this.
Dr. Scalder?
Yeah.
We hate her.
Yeah. More like Dr. Balder.
Dr. Mauger.
Oh, here's an Easter egg that
Dr.
not even.
Skibbity Mauger, Riz, Ohio.
All right, Cameron.
Dr. Sigma.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Dr. Scalder.
Here's an
You are
Easter egg that
mouth-
Ryan Airy from Screen Crush won't even notice when when Captain, if you want to call him by that, Rampart is talking to the two TK troopers about letting him into the thing. He threatens them with an Article 15, which in Article 15 in the real life in the military is a disciplinary action that can lead to confinement and all sorts of other like crimes.
Really?
Yeah, so it's legitimate thing. So that the Bad Batch is also written by a Navy veteran, so she knows what she's talking about.
Huh.
So that's why I was like, oh, there's a military connection in that's like super deep cut that nobody else would get. So boom, doubt Ryan Airy got that one. We're just all knowing.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, oh shoot, when he said that.
So what do you think is going to happen these next couple episodes?
Death.
With Omega trying to escape with the other kids.
Death.
Do you think they're going to get out and then they're going to be out when the Bad Batch arrives and then the Bad Batch goes in looking for her and she's already
See,
gone?
I was thinking about that.
Well,
and-
Mr. Kiner so kindly said, "Burying the dead." What? So I everybody's dead. Every single one of them's dead.
I don't know if I want to believe that or if Kevin Connor's doing a psyop on us.
Psyop.
Use an
Yeah.
internet psyop on the Bad Batch. No, but see, that's what I was thinking too, is what if I always get stressed when this happens in like movies and TV shows, and I just hate that I do because I know it won't happen. But I hate the idea of, so like Omega's trying to escape, and the Bad Batch are about to come get her, and then they'll get to her area, and then be like, oh no, but Omega isn't there. And that's never how that works. The characters always find each other in circumstance. It's kind of like an easy like story thing.
Right.
So I have that anxiety of being like, what if they get there and she isn't there and she escaped? But I know it's going to be fine. Again, it's something I created myself, but
Jackson really overthinking situations in a TV show, and it's giving him
bro,
anxiety.
I am so stressed
This
for the
bro
Bad
some
Batch
medical
ending.
marijuana. It sounds like he's.
No, my job will fire me. Please, I'm begging
You heard it here first, Uncle Sam. He's an addict.
The 1313 podcast does not condone
The
the use of
1313 podcast
marijuana
does
or
not
any other
condone the use of
narcotic or
marijuana.
illegal drug.
Except if it's legal interstate. That's different, dude.
It's not here though.
Not here where we live, but at any rate.
Is it legal in Florida?
What?
I said,
He's
is it?
looking up if it's legal in
It is-
Florida.
I would say probably definitely not.
I didn't think so.
But I feel like, in my opinion too, about this episode, just to kind of yap while y'all are looking at it. But I think that this is the last quote unquote build up episode that we have. And then I think from now it's gonna be the falling action.
Yeah, because there's
And-
2 episodes left.
Yeah,
No
so-
shit.
Well, I mean,
No
Camino was
shit.
kind of like a hype and then like a not really anything else for the end, because the last episode is just them escaping and there's not like a lot of tense scenes.
Yeah, same thing for last season where it's them going into this Imperial thing, Tech dying at the beginning of the final episode, and then it just kind of chills off and Omega gets taken.
Well, no,
the
because
same.
I feel like there's still constant action in that at least. But that's why I'm just like,
This
crap,
is-
like what's gonna happen for this, I
Everyone
guess. I definitely feel like they're gonna get to Tantus.
They're all gonna
and then
die,
they're
and then there's gonna be a heaven scene where they all get to meet up with Tech again.
They're gonna meet Fives.
No, they're gonna meet Tech again. and then Star Wars Heaven. Is there a version of Heaven in Star Wars?
It's
No.
the Force. When you die, you become a living part of the Force.
The living force and the cosmic force.
They've explained
The
this several
cosmic
times.
force. The cosmic force is the afterlife.
No way you're looking up. Is there a heaven in Star Wars?
There's a planet.
No, stop. That's literally talking about Judaism.
Bruh. Looking for the
StarWarsFandom.com.
Don't even trust that. All
looking
right.
for the episode titles again.
Oh yeah, Tom is looking at the episode titles, but we can't talk about the episode titles.
We can't talk about them because
Jacob does
decided
not
to pull
want
a
to hear
Jackson
about
and
it.
say that he doesn't want to.
I don't wanna know 'em.
Episode titles.
I don't want to know.
That's fine if you don't want.
Because what?
There's people that don't want to know it, and that's fine. I will respect that.
Because I don't
want
want
to look it up because
I don't
I'm
want to
like,
theorize and set expectations for the episode that don't come true. Because I knew them last season, and that's exactly what happened. And then every time we got to an episode, you know me from that last season, I'd be like filler, and I was the only one that was nagging, being like episodes are bad. And I think it's because I had this pre-notion of what they should have been.
Bad Batch Oracle. Ready for this?
Bad Batch Oracle about a prophet.
Here we go again.
Echo mentions a stolen shuttle.
The one that they're on.
The same kind of shuttle that Commander Wolf came off of with his troops when they faced off and had their confrontation with Rex earlier in the season. This
cooking in the crock
could
pot.
explain... What do you mean cooking in the crock pot, brother? This could explain how Wolf ends up with Rex, because when Rex shows up on Tantus, maybe he has Wolf with him and all the guys that were with Wolf, so they actually have a force of clones instead of just two guys. And I think that because it was the same shuttle, that could explain how they stole the shuttle.
Did you also realize that in this episode that they call this shuttle, I didn't know what type of shuttle this was. It is a Rogue class shuttle, which is the same shuttle that is used in Rogue One by the Rogue One squadron. So I think their name got picked because they were in a Rogue shuttle and it was
No, their call sign is Rogue One.
Yeah,
well, because he made it up on the spot, but
Yeah.
the shuttle class was a Rogue type shuttle. So like that's how the call sign. He used Rogue One. The call sign of the shuttle.
I think you're cooking in the crock pot.
I think you're both. Here's important questions we need to ask. Where is Wolf and where is Cody in these last coming episodes? And are we ever
Cody's
Are you
going to
being
see
tongue in
that?
cheek when you say that, or are you being serious?
What do you mean by that?
Like, are you saying it facetiously, or are you saying it seriously?
I'm
Are you saying?
saying,
Did you just say Rex and Cody?
Wolf and Cody.
Wolf and No, like, are we
cares?
actually going to see that?
No, like I just said, I think that the shuttle that the Bad Batch took, the stolen shuttle, was the shuttle that Wolf was on. What planet was that they were on? That on Teth.
Yeah.
When Wolf has his face off with Rex, that's the shuttle they come out of.
First appearance of Rogue class was in Rogue One.
And then Cody. How mad can we make Hunter with this segment of the show?
How mad
How mad can we make
Hunter?
2/12 Hunter with this segment of the show?
Orange is a shitty color.
Are you guys going to be upset if we don't see those characters again?
No.
Wolf, maybe, because I'm not upset. Not the right word. I will be surprised if Wolf doesn't show
If
up.
Dave Filoni doesn't put his favorite guy in the
But I think it's
finale.
inevitable because everything in this show has shown up more than once. The station that they're on,
Except for
I
Cody.
thought was Bespin, but it's actually remember in season 1 when
Yeah.
Cad Bane took Omega
It
to
was
that
the Rogue Kaminoan facility that they abandoned.
Yep.
Yeah.
that showed up. I never thought it would show up.
Watch Ryan Ayers say that's Busman.
Everything in this show has shown up more than once, and I think that's a theme for a reason.
Sure.
Every
I mean,
cameo, every place, every...
except for
you know.
Ventress. That's only once.
Well, she got
Gee.
introduced in
Plot hole,
season
plot hole.
3. She got introduced in season 3.
Personally,
I don't think Cody's
I'm
coming
of-
back.
I'm of the opinion, to say the least, that I'll be a little bit upset if we don't see Wolf and we don't see Cody again. Because I would maybe like to see some sort of explanation to how Rex ends up with Wolf and Gregor. Sure, it might not be, oh, now we're sad and now we're going to go get an ATTE in the random, like, desert wasteland and chill out and hunt giant worms. But I think it would be such a disservice
Slinging
to
for
Rebels and to the lore if we didn't know why in that PTSD moment he yells out for Cody. If that's just a throwaway line, I feel like that, for me, that would be a little bit upsetting.
I won't lie. I think it's Rex's PTSD to the Clone Wars. I recently watched.
Sure, if it's the Clone
I recently
Wars,
watched that Rebels
makes
episode,
sense.
and I feel like we have misinterpreted what he meant.
And that's a fair judgment.
Yeah, and I feel like it could go either way, but I would be really hoping that line would be in reference to the Bad Batch.
Same here. I mean, again, I would like to see something or explanation of what happens to these characters that we've loved and known. Just, you showed it to us. You're edging us. So just help me.
This whole episode could be summed up in one word. Edging. That's it.
Edging the episode. I would agree.
Now,
Make that the title of the
Edged by the
podcast.
Bad Batch.
no, the title's going to be Star Wars Going Broke plus Bad Batch Edging.
Yeah, do that verbatim.
Verbatim.
1313 podcast. 1313 Modcast.
Are you proud?
Yes, I am. I'm very proud. 1313. You are mouth breathers.
Do you guys have anything else to say about Bad Batch?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
When it came to the Wolf Rex comment, I'm
Okay,
just
okay.
trying to backtrack on what you were saying about being disappointed.
That's a personal thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it needs to
Now,
happen.
okay,
That's something
so-
I hope would happen.
So I do think there's going to be another show based off this because I don't think they'll resolve everybody's story in these next 2 episodes.
I don't think they will.
Whoever is left, I think will have a beginning. This is just wishful thinking too. I would like to see the path from Obi-Wan Kenobi come into
Okay.
play. And I think that it would be cool to establish the path with different characters from different backgrounds. So you'd have Rex, obviously, would be helping with something like that, with freeing clone troopers, getting them to safe places. That's something he's already been doing in the Bad Batch. And clearly, the way he's been going about it doesn't really work because the Empire finds out their military operations and destroys them.
Sure.
You have
give it a-
Ventress, who is working with has a relationship with Quinlan Voss. We know Quinlan Voss is involved with the path because of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think that bringing Omega into the fold as well as another supporting character in that type of a story would be cool. And I think it's a way to, if we don't see more from like Wolf or Rex yet, I think that'd be a great way to see more of their story in the future.
I think personally, I don't think we're gonna get another show in this style.
You
for
think
a
this is
while.
it?
I think this is it. What
I would
this and
too.
Tales of the Empire might be the end of it.
I'm fine with that.
And I agree. It's I don't want to beat this horse just because it keeps spitting out money, and because it's Clone Wars style. If they want to progress, they need to progress and do something new.
Yeah.
I think personally though, if we're gonna see the path in any form of medium explored more, it's going to be in the next Jedi game with Cal Kestis.
Okay.
Only because can't remember her name off the top of my head. Cal's master.
Big fan.
Seer.
She was working not only building a new Jedi archive, but she was also helping with the path. And now that basically, you know the end of the game, right?
I know she dies.
So, based on that information and nothing else that I will spoil from the game, Cal is like left at this like crossroad where he can go any way. I don't think he's gonna go back to doing odd jobs for Saw, like how we see at the very beginning of the game. I honestly think he's gonna, because his whole thing of Jedi survivors, finding Jedi survivors, I think he's gonna go and assist with the path. I feel like that's where he's gonna get led to. And I feel like because of the triple threat of cameos in the Jedi games, I feel like that's where he's going to meet his demise, is in the path, and Vader's going to find him and kill him. Or something like that's going to happen for that game. But I feel like if they're going to choose a story way that's going to make sense for Cal, I think it's going to be with the path.
Cool.
So I feel like the next time that we see anything to do with the path other than being in a book is going to be in the Jedi Survivor games.
What if they put Cal in this type of a show and then they kill him in the show? How would you feel?
That would be sick dramatic irony, because then an entire game would have to come out and I would have to live through that game knowing that he would die. I would love to see
What if it went the other way around? What if the last game came out, he lives, then you see him on screen in the show, and then he dies in the show?
I'd be fine with that.
How many more games for the Jedi series can they
I think it's a trilogy. I think this only one more.
Dang.
And then they're going to do sequels that are 30 years down the line, and they're going to ruin Star Wars.
These games
again.
are fire, though.
Those again, Jedi Survivor masterpiece. Did you get it yet?
But I'm off tonight.
You said that you were going to get it the other night.
Yep.
Get it tonight. I'll hop. Oh no, because you got it. Well, no, you don't.
When
have
I
to
play
edit
story
tonight.
games, I like to immerse myself. I feel like that's part of the reason I haven't played it yet, because I like to play video games with friends.
I'm the opposite. I like to go it alone. That's why I love story games, just because I can just.
Well, that's
sit
what I
and
mean. But
talk.
like, I want to play by myself, but then my friends will be like, "Oh, like I'm on." I'll be like, "All right, I gotta play."
In that case, I won't get on just so you can play it. It's so good, but
I mean, yeah. As far as Bad Batch goes, solid episode. Again, this one I wouldn't say it's another for me. It's a middle of the pack episode. It was not quite the best of the season. Definitely not the lowest of the season though.
Sure.
So I'm in the middle here. Very, very anxiously waiting for the next episode to come
I
out.
want the end.
I want both episodes to come out next week.
I know. I'm just so upset.
But it's a double-edged sword because I'm ready for it to be... I want to just see the end. But I also have this really upset feeling of knowing that this is it. Like, once this
no
is
more
over...
Bad Batch. No
more Bad
Clone-
Batch. No more
This
Clone
is
Wars.
Like how I felt how the end of the Clone Wars was the end of my childhood.
Right.
Now the Bad Batch is the one thing that... The Bad Batch came out my freshman year of college. So your sophomore year, since you're only a year ahead of me.
Yeah.
And so now this is the end of my college life, I guess, is the Bad Batch. And now I'm about to go out into the real world to do things. So for me, the Clone Wars animation style has always been this clutch of like grounding me as a kid. And now it's over and it's releasing me into the world with all of these lessons and the stories that we've learned.
Yeah.
So I'm upset about that personally. I don't want it to be over, but every good story must come to an end at some point.
For sure.
yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up though for the ending to be as good as season 7 of the Clone Wars though.
Sure.
So
I'm the season 7 Clone Wars ending, in my opinion, cannot be topped.
No, definitely not. I think that my emotions will be high
Yes.
for the end of the Bad Batch, though. You know, won't, I feel like it's not going to hit as hard as... Well, obviously not as hard as the Clone Wars did.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
But yeah, that's where I'm at.
yeah.
Do we want to talk about brief collecting news before we wrapped up the
yes.
episode today?
2 new Black Series reveals came out
So we got
today.
another Blue Mandalorian. Yippee! And then we have the greatest release of the century. A 4-pack of droids that comes with R4, which nobody really cares about. Another BD unit, which I'm always excited. And two pit droids! I'm so
It's
excited.
beautiful.
I was telling
Throw
Jackson.
away your cantina aliens.
I know.
Ladies and
Screw
gentlemen, we're getting
aliens.
droids.
No more aliens. I want droids. I was telling Jackson this over dinner. I was like, man, fuck an alien. I want a droid. So I'm so excited for the pit droids.
I'm picking up that 4-pack for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely going
I
to.
probably will in the future.
I'm going to recreate I was telling Jackson my favorite scene of a pit droid when Cal is walking through the beginning of. I'm so bad with names. The big planet on Jedi Survivor, the one that you're on the most. Kobo.
Okay.
So you're on Kobo and there's the tar pit and there's like the speeder stuck in it and there's a pit droid and he's like, and he's like, I wish I could help. It's so funny. So yeah, I saw that 4-pack get dropped. I said, now let me watch Book of Boba season 1 episode 5 right now. And I rewatched it just so I could get to the end of the Mando stuff when you see Peli and all her droids.
Cute.
And then that Mandalorian
Yeah.
looks sick too.
Both are Target exclusives?
Target exclusives.
Okay. Which, okay, cool. It's a Target exclusive. We also, if you're going to complain about The Mandalorian, Yak said that we were going to be oversaturated this year in Mandalorian characters. So it's coming. Hold on to your butts. There's more to come.
I don't know, because all I ever heard was everyone was like, I want Rando Mandos. I want Rando Mandos.
And now we're getting
And now when they come out, people go, another blue one. Even though
Newsflash, they're all blue.
Yakface already said that there are covert Mandalorians coming, so just chill, just chill out. It's gonna come out at some point.
Yeah.
Good lord!
All of Bo-Katan's are literally blue.
Scummy Hasbro adding the thruster accessories for R5 in the multi-pack. They're hidden behind a paywall. What?
Yeah.
Who's gonna pose that R5 with that anyway? Unless you have them on a flight stand.
Which nobody will have.
Those drawers would go epic with a Black Series scale and one Starfighter though.
They would.
New HasLab?
Mm-hmm. Maybe sick.
We have the TVC one.
Sick Dopeness
They
Monster.
did it in TV.
Skibbity Ohio Riz.
Okay, you can show
Ladies
it
and
now.
gentlemen, we are done.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the podcast. Please, if you haven't already, leave a comment and a like and join. And I'm not gonna do that. Make sure that you follow us on all of our social media, all linked down below. Join the Discord. Follow us on Patreon. Buy merch, whatever. And
Buy the merch! Buy the merch!
Tommy bought a t-shirt. Shout out to the other 1313 co-hosts for buying one of the new
I never
shirts.
bought a t-shirt.
Wait, are you serious?
I never bought it. Must have been my dad.
Oh, it was your... Oh, okay. Same name.
anyway,
Never mind, Tommy and Jacob are fake fans.
and I already have like 4 shirts of the podcast. I don't need another right now. So, but yeah, and also remember if you're on the East Coast on the way down to Florida and you want me to stop and say hi, shoot me a DM. And let us know what you thought of this episode of the. I gotta poop really bad. I'm prairie dogging. So everybody have a good week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, this is Vanessa Marshall. I play Hera Syndulla on Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to the 1313 podcast.
Bye.